In Haiti, with the teamwork of many, the third humanitarian aid distribution is finally held in Don Bosco. The volunteers visited care recipients in Gongliao, sending them blessings and care before the Mid-Autumn Festival.
歡迎收睇DaAi Headlines， 我係 Ruby， 我哋一齊睇下今日嘅內容。In Haiti, Tzu's third distribution was held in Don Bosco, Cayes. Father Tzu Chi, who has been cooperating with Tzu Chi for a long time, made a special trip to arrange the entire distribution. The vice president of Gigi Depot, Dashka Bennett, who assisted Tzu Chi in overcoming numerous difficulties, also mentioned that the distribution was full of uncertainties, but with the teamwork, they made it happen successfully.
In Haiti, everything is unpredictable and uncertain. Things can change in no time. Gangs take full control of the main road to the south, which all the humanitarian aid trucks are not able to bypass. Finally, all the relief goods arrived in time for the distribution in Don Bosco because the gangs called a truce. So we were able to give the food bags to 1,000 families.
到现在为止，我们总共有9000包的。
We have a total of 9,000 packs of rice, including grain bags so far. This time the materials are very heavy. I'm very, very grateful to Father Zucchi. They have worked diligently last night to unload these materials to the warehouse so that we're able to distribute them now. It was really a mission impossible, but they made it.
C'est une longue préparation, mais nous le faisons.
It's been a long preparation, and we do it with a lot of heart and a lot of respect and gratitude for Master Zhen Yan. It's true, we spent ourselves to make this distribution happen, but our joy is to help these people.
I definitely wanted to experience the smile on people's faces when they got the goods. I would say this was a good, successful first group work miracle. With hard work and group work and creativity, we managed.
I am very happy. Thank you for helping me after God. I know you are there. God will bring you back, and I pray God so you can help Haiti as well.
Yes, I'm very happy. I had nothing, but I received this gift. Thank you. I say thank you very much. I wish God give you the strength to help us always.
In the city of Camparin, close to Cayes, most of the houses collapsed. People are displaced. All they want is to have a roof over their heads.
Et en plus de la nourriture, les gens.
In addition to the food, people need temporary shelter. There are some of them who have lost their homes. Probably they need the tents so they can live temporarily and wait until they have the opportunity to build a suitable house.
In Haiti, life is impermanent, so these relief gifts bring a smile to people's faces, and the smile is eternal.
In the United States, a brush fire broke out in San Bernardino County with the Lytle Creek fire destroying 9 homes. Tzu Chi US Headquarters in California distributed cash cards, fresh produce, and secondhand clothing to help the survivors. A Jing Si folding bed was also given to a recipient to help him get a better night's sleep.
This time it was only right down the street, only half an hour, and we had to go. So we picked up our stuff and left. We didn't have a chance to grab nothing.
Having to rush the evacuation, the families were unable to take belongings with them. Victor is temporarily staying at his friend's house and unable to get a good night's rest.
He's staying at his friend's house right now on a very soft air mattress and wakes up with an itchy back. So we have given him a Jing Si folding bed to sleep on.
Y de antemano, muchas gracias.
He wants to say thank you
por tanta generosidad de parte de ustedes.
for your great generosity.
Tzu Chi responded with humanitarian aid the fire victims might need and had originally planned to deliver it, but as many didn't have a place to call home, the distribution was changed to a pickup at the San Dimas headquarters.
Since you lost everything, hope this one really can help.
Yes.
And weather is getting, right now it's still hot, but very soon will be getting cold.
That's
It needs comfort.
Yes.
Not only the useful warm comforter and cash card, there are also fresh produce for everyone to take, as well as secondhand clothes and shoes.
洗干净，然后我们
It's been washed and organized by our sisters here before we placed it on the racks for the recipients to choose from. It's our way of respect.
Very overwhelmed, helpful to me and my family, more than I expect, and I'm very grateful for the help.
The recipients walk away with a trunk full of love, and in return, they know how to pass this love they have received to more people.
In Turkey, after the first COVID case in March last year, the government enforced online classes to all schools within the country. As the pandemic slowed down recently, Manahal International School's teachers and students could finally return to the campus happily to start the new semester.
شعوري أنه كنت سعيدة كتير لأني كنت شفت أساتذتي بعد غياب سنة ونص كنت بشوفهم على التليفون بس هلأ بشوفهم على الحقيقة أحسن وأحلى.
Since the halt of classes starting March last year, El Manahil International School is back in operation after 18 months of campus closure. Due to the pandemic slowing down, from September this year, children are now back on campus.
We have prepared everything for the school's opening, from campus disinfection, student disinfection before entering, to measuring body temperature. We take it very seriously.
I like school because I can learn alphabets and numbers.
Back to school, children express their happiness as they look forward to the new semester.
After a year of online classes, I'm glad that students can be back here for school. During this time, we must reinforce students' learning, allowing them to catch up. We'll not give up on any children. It's better to be here than at home because it hurts my eye while looking at my phone screen. I miss my classmates and I hope I can play with them at school.
In the classroom, teachers and students engage in activities as the once lost passion for learning is reignited.
Despite the pandemic, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hong Kong continue to care for the homeless individuals. Even in the hot summer nights with 34 degrees Celsius, they insisted on heading out to distribute meal boxes and meal vouchers in person.
In a bustling summer night, Tzu Chi volunteers went to care for the homeless individuals with meal boxes. The warm greetings and happy singing voices broke the silence of this night.
The homeless individuals are not so gloomy, are much happier than before. I'm willing to sing more songs for them so they won't feel so lonely.
The pandemic has widened the distance among people, yet these hot meals cannot be omitted.
In July, I lost my handbag and didn't have money to buy food to eat. Fortunately, I have meal vouchers, so I didn't go hungry. Thank you for helping those in need and giving me a pair of shoes.
It turns out that not everyone is able to have food to eat and sleep well.
The 40 vegetarian meal boxes were freshly made on the day.
My father is a Tzu Chi volunteer. We have been very supportive of Tzu Chi activities. It just happened that Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting the homeless individuals today, so I've cooked some rice and dishes for them.
Volunteers not only gave out meal boxes, but also fruits and desserts, as well as meal vouchers and supermarket cash cards, so that the homeless individuals will not go hungry after having this meal.
Apart from giving them sweet soup, tangerines, and meal boxes, I also persuaded them to go vegetarian. We gave them some vegetarian meal vouchers, hoping that they can have peace of mind during the hot weather and the pandemic.
These homeless individuals not only had a full tummy, but also felt warm in their heart.
The Mid-Autumn Festival is coming. Tzu Chi volunteers visited care recipients to send them blessings and care during this festive season. Tzu Chi volunteer Zheng Hui, who lives in Da'an District, Taipei, has been going to Gongliao District for home visitations for more than 10 years, developing a family-like relationship with care recipients.
As soon as the volunteers arrived, they not only gave the care recipients the Mid-Autumn Festival gift box, but also loving reminders.
Let me tell you, Auntie bought these 2 cans of high-protein powder for you to replenish your nutrition.
The last visit was in April. Volunteers called an ambulance to take her to the hospital.
When I arrived, she took my hand and told me that she was still young. She didn't want to pass away like her mother did before.
Uterine fibroids almost killed her. Fortunately, she had an emergency surgery. Even during the pandemic, it was not convenient to visit patients in hospital. Zheng Hui insisted to visit her every day.
After my mother passed away, they would always come to care for me with their loving care. I'm not afraid of being alone.
When I encounter any difficulties, I can call them anytime, and they would always find ways to help me.
This relationship has been set up for more than 10 years. Zhu Zhaoguo, who is Zheng Hui's husband, has been driving her between Taipei and Gongliao regularly.
Local Gigi brothers and sisters went with us to care for care recipients, and the results are gradually appearing.
Grandma Zhang has long been waiting for the volunteers as if she was hoping for her daughter to come home.
Just like our ancestors said, when others treat us well, we treat others well in return. So we have more things to chat about.
Grandma Zhang's son specially harvested some fresh pumpkins and fruits from the field.
Just like a daughter returning to her mother's home.
We just formed good affinities.
Although volunteers were to deliver gifts, they got many presents in return every time.
She is just like my elder sister.
One mooncake box can help 2 families. This is thought through ordering mooncakes through disabled workshops that Tzu Chi volunteers in Kaohsiung had for this year. They even purchased mooncakes from a religious organization, which shocked everyone. Let's take a look.
Tzu Chi is looking to give 2,000 mooncake sets to Kaohsiung's disadvantaged families. The mooncakes are ordered from 3 different disabled workshops, one of which is funded by a Christian organization.
Tzu Chi, through the social services, contacted us to order mooncakes. We were pretty shocked. The social services also brought up whether the Bible verses we usually put in it should be taken out. However, a Tzu Chi sister came and said it was fine. Blessings are blessings, no matter what religion it comes from.
Each religion has their own belief, and we appreciate and respect each. So we hope to have the cause stay.
The volunteers personally deliver the mooncakes to each recipient. This elderly couple is taking care of their grandson because their son got into an accident. Receiving this package, the love they have for one another is very evident. Living life with a disability, Ms. Liu does not give up on happiness. A solitary senior, Ms. Liu's left leg was amputated, and in the recent years, the joint point of her amputation was twice affected heavily, as well as her chronic suffering of myasthenia gravis. Thus, the volunteers often visit to keep her company.
You have been a Tzu Chi member for so long, which means you have deep affinities with Tzu Chi, so we are here.
I'm so happy to have sisters in my life.
She keeps her home clean and tidy on her own, which the volunteers have so much respect for. In giving her a mooncake package, it's just like friends visiting one another on the eve of the holiday.
80-year-old Mr. Jiang lives in Kinong and is in poor health. After undergoing surgery in May, the borough chief asked Tzu Chi volunteers to clean up his home as he was recovering from illness. Volunteers had to wait until the COVID pandemic eased recently to clean his home so that he can recover in a comfortable environment.
The piles of clothes that should be washed or those that haven't been worn are indistinguishable from one another. The bed also has a peculiar smell. Mr. Zhang, who's nearly 80 years old, is in poor physical condition and is unable to clean or organize his home. The local borough chief helped him seek outside aid.
He is an elderly person living alone. Usually he is alone, so he is relatively weak. Recently, we asked Tzu Chi brothers and sisters to help him clean his room and his house.
His kitchen is greasy throughout. The more volunteers we have, the more we can do. You do it, and I do it, and everyone is happy to do it. When it feels cleaned, I feel good.
Although I was sweating, I was very happy in my heart. This is because we can give our love, which can be great help to his health.
Old people cherish what they have accumulated and often cannot bear to throw away their possessions. Some things have not been touched for decades, as volunteers sorted his stuff and persuaded Mr. Zhang to discard it.
I'm very grateful to you volunteers. After cleaning, I'm really grateful. Environment hygiene is very important, right?
Mr. Jiang thanked us again and again. He was very satisfied that we helped him organize his entire home environment. In follow-up visits, the borough chief said he would help him apply for long-term care home service visits.
Removing the old dirt from this house has reinvigorated the home. The sadness on Mr. Zhang's face has been replaced with smiles as he is ready to welcome a new life.
In Taiwan, Tzu Chi's Pingdong Yanpu Liaison Office has donated laptops to students in need. Among them is a brother and sister pair who have received Tzu Chi's new scholarships before. After receiving Tzu Chi's help, they also volunteered to reciprocate Tzu Chi's assistance.
Zheng Dewei, who studies at National Neipu Senior Agricultural Industrial Vocational High School, has received a laptop. He cannot go to school without technological assistance.
I often attended online courses using a mobile phone, so my eyes became tired. I could not see clearly. With the laptop, it is easier to highlight the main points. This laptop is very helpful for me.
Zheng Dewei and his younger sister have received Tzu Chi scholarships, and they also accompany the elderly and pay back to society. This time, the volunteer who brought the laptop is Cai Yichen, who studies at Zhengshu University. He explains ways to use the laptop to these young students, lessening their obstacles.
I'm quite happy as I can teach them to use the laptop so they won't have problems.
The shortcoming of using a mobile phone to do homework and reports is that it lacks certain functions. I really hope that I can have a brand new laptop so that I can study well.
I encourage my child to help other people like you guys when they have the abilities.
I usually share one with my classmates. After having my own laptop, I can study language. I can have the laptop to myself.
He is good at using computers, so I asked him to teach them to use the laptop. Cai Yicheng has happily agreed. We went to different places for the whole day. Although the people of Taiwan is overall wealthy, many people still need Tzu Chi's help.
Pingdong Tzu Chi volunteers went to Yanpu District, Dashka Village in Lina Borough, and to Ku Village in Ligang Township to deliver laptops to students in need, hoping they will be able to pursue an education without worries.
Today, we launched a series of special features about animal protection. The people who are committed to this cause includes veterinary volunteers, public sector personnel, NGO groups, and young farmers returning to their hometowns. In the first episode, we featured small Chasmino. Follow our reports as we learn more.
An emerald green covers a tender, crisp white interior, which is water bamboo. It grows in flowing spring water. In the water, a little fish who is active like a swimmer thrives. It is a protected species known as Moltrex minnow.
This pond, when it is fallow or when the water temperature is high or when the water volume drops, the fish go into this small pool to take refuge and breed.
In April of this year, there was a drought in Taiwan, and swarms of Moltrex minnow were on the verge of death. This old farmer couldn't bear it and diverted water from the water bamboo field to the river tributary.
Having the fish swim here gave me a good feeling. The day the pond dried up, so this pipe diverts water and they continue to live.
While the fish were able to recover, the old man was unexpectedly injured.
He fell from here, and the old farmer's head hit a stone, on top of which his wholesaler didn't want to buy his water bamboo anymore.
Fortunately, if he doesn't have to worry about harvest sales, he can concentrate on conserving Moltrex minnow.
Doing it this way, it can be shipped out.
These streams in Puli Yixin community are important habitat for Moltrex minnow.
The tail towards the front lets the fish swim against the current. They go inside here and we put a trap down and add grass to cover it. After placing it, we put a rock to hold it down.
Shrimp pots are placed to observe changes in the number of this species and water temperature. Dissolved oxygen and pH is also observed.
The riverside is actually quite stable, thanks to the fish survey team's partners. With thousands of people working together, they can influence over 1,000 people in this borough.
If later on my grandchildren want to go by themselves to the stream by our own field to play, I can rest assured.
Regarding ecology, he hopes that everyone will value our earth land.
I used to be a student of information management. I have experienced a lot of hardships over the years. In fact, I think it's really necessary to engage in ecology and be courageous and persevere.
This kind of Sai comes from deep experience. However, simply cherishing their hometown is not enough. Chen Xinhao, born in 1979, demonstrated his ability to act and learn from his previous frustration. Flowers and plants need time to grow stronger, and change occurs over time.
Don't worry, just wait for it. Our valley has more than 20 conservation species, and more than 30 species of butterflies, and more than 19 species of frogs.
Everything is interdependent, as an ecosystem needs balance and does not need pesticides. From protecting the water source to his orchard, Chen Xinhao tirelessly works to promote the most beautiful scenery across the land.
The industrialist team from Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter donated 49 laptops to impoverished students so that their studies are not interrupted. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and see you next time.